Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 16 of season 4. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. Thank you so much every single person that's taken the time to vote in this season's most liked and disliked characters vote. You know, quite a few people have done it so far. We've got a couple of episodes left. If you've not done it, please do get that done. And obviously in the final episode of the season, your results and mine will be revealed. So it's going to be exciting to see. Now, full disclosure, mate, last week I sat down here, pressed record, and I recorded the whole intro to this episode. Well excited to get into it after the Michaelson's return. Went to the, obviously, to go and watch it. Boom, it's not there. I was like, oh, God, mate, what's going on with this show? They seem to have 2 episodes on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. But today, it is definitely out, episode 16. So I'm excited to see, because obviously, like I said, last episode, the Michaelson's return, we had Freya, Rebecca, Marcel, and Cole, they all come back to try and get Hulk's humanity back on. They were saying, they was in New Orleans, they were saying it is Klaus's funeral today. They're trying to figure out where to put his ashes. Now, the interesting thing is they said that they couldn't decide between them and they feel like the person that could is Hope, and they said that decision should be hers. Hope ended up saying, look mate, you know, even though New Orleans was the place he chose to live, Mystic Falls was kind of the place where he was made, where he grew up, and I feel like the ashes should come home with me. So it's really interesting. She's showing a bit of care. Then obviously Humanity Hope turned up behind her. Both of them went outside, ended up having a fight with each other, you know. Non-Humanity Hope's like, why don't you just leave me alone and go away? Humanity Hope's like, that's never going to happen. She ended up, Humanity Hope, stabbing non-Humanity Hope with the Red Oak, and it ended up, you know, killing her, and she kind of like missed it off, you know, like Klaus did into the sky and Elijah. It was decent. What was interesting as well is Caleb, he took Cleo to see one of the people that first found him when he was, you know, in transition. She is not a psychic, but she kind of is, and she sat down and she was helping Cleo like look at her powers and just, you know, try and figure out what she is right now. And Cleo got this like big ball of like inspiration, sort of speak, it like glowing. It was mad, mate. The whole house was like blowing up all over the place. When she woke up, she was saying to Caleb that the whole Salvatore school is just burnt to the ground, that she's seeing. If everything goes to plan the way it's currently going, with obviously like the gods and stuff, there's going to be no school left. It's going to be absolute mad chaos, destruction. And speaking of that, mate, it looks like that is possibly coming, because Ben, who we all think is a great guy, well, we thought, you know, manipulated everyone. We had Lizzie and Aurora. They was trying to extract the key out of him. He was saying, look, mate, you know, the way to get the god that you want to raise is to get past my sister. And I know how to do that, how to manipulate her. So Lizzie went off to actually succeed in this plan. She went over. She said, look, mate, I've got some monster truck tickets. Do you want to go? She was like, yes. She loved it. Took her out the way. Aurora managed to extract the key out of Ben. And she went off to try and obviously resurrect the god of time, Kronos. I think that's what their intentions were anyway, mate. But no. When you know, Jem found out that Lizzie was actually using her, she was saying Ben is the person that you need to be wary of. He is the person that will do anything it takes, mate, to bring his old boyfriend back. And if that means casting the boon, waking his dad up and getting the, you know, that wish, that is what he's going to do. And long behold, mate, as Aurora was stood there in front of the coffin, she got knocked out. Ben's there, coffin stolen. Obviously Lizzie and Jen have returned. They're not there. They're in the back of a van, and he's gone there. He's opened it up, and bang, mate, a big white light has come out of one of the coffins. So I'm assuming he's woken up his father and he's ready to cast this boon, mate. It's going to be well interesting. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the intro for today's episode. Hopefully you guys are excited for today's video. Now, sticking with the supernatural right now, I just have a quick question. My friend, she's doing a dissertation on the supernatural experiences of loved ones after they've passed away. So if you guys have got any time whatsoever to take part, whether you've seen them, whether you've heard them, whether they had habits of like having a remote on the right side of the settee, and obviously you've gone to bed and it was on the left and you woke up and it's back on the right, just anything in relation to a loved one that have passed away and you feel like they're still around. If you guys have any time whatsoever to help her in her studies, just email her in the description. She'll get in contact and you'll help us so much, so thank you for that. And as always, this is episode 16 of season 4 of Legacies. Let's hope it's another great one, and let's jump into today's episode.
Trying to record what I saw in my vision before I slipped away.
You are so talented.
Thanks, but this entire square will burn, Caleb, including our school.
There's no sign of any apocalypse happening today.
Oh, that's matching that. Interesting.
Oh,
It does look.
Sorry, MG.
Oh, it does look like normal Hope, that.
It's just that you're here. Lizzie also came back. She may have helped Ben raise his father.
I'm in control of my body, but not my mind. I think she's still here somewhere, so you can't let me out until I know that she's gone for good.
Belgian waffles. Dirty trick.
You were in limbo?
See? Lack of communication.
My brand is gone.
Which means
Oh.
Either Aurora found a way to undo the spell, or the purpose of our covenant has been completed.
All right, very interesting that she mentioned the branding on her arm. I like that. You know, I was always going to be wondering what's going to happen because we've seen it when the Hope first went after a few people. They set on fire, didn't they, after having the branding with Aurora? And then it's just shown there. She said, mate, even though we didn't technically raise a god, the task is complete and the branding's gone. And they've addressed it just like that. Clean sweep. It makes total sense.
Work with the bad guys. What could possibly go wrong?
Whoa! I totally forgot this happened.
I heard you were looking for me.
Oh, no way, mate.
Sailor.
That's his mom.
I am the necromancer. This is,
Mom?
Hello, son. I guess I have some explaining to do.
Where'd you get this?
I drew it.
Well, then I guess my stupid half-brother really did wake that bastard up.
Need a plan to protect the school and the town.
Except you can't. She's obviously an oracle. Oracles don't see what might happen.
Oh, they see what do.
will happen.
You and Finch, go evacuate the school.
okay. What about Ben?
One crisis at a time.
You know, they just said that she was an oracle, you know, when she sees the future and she sees what's going to happen, and no matter what they do, it can't change, you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of the Umbrella Academy, when Five's in the future. He knows the apocalypse is happening, he comes back in time, and they have to try and stop the future. That's kind of like what's happening here, you know? She's kind of Five in this situation. She's seen the future, she's back in time, well, the present, and they need to do whatever they can to stop it from happening, coming into, you know, into the light, so to speak. So it's interesting. Also, speaking of Umbrella Academy, that's coming to the channel soon, mate. It's getting released.
You think if you can get me talking, you can figure out why I'm still here. If you need a sounding board to figure out a little problem, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. You're on your own for this one, kiddo.
She's gone to Hope. I thought she was going to go to MG, but to Hope, mate.
This is a bad time.
Hope, you are literally locked in a cage right now. I think your schedule's pretty wide open. And you're the only one that I can talk to about all of this. My entire life is on hold until I can find a way to explain what happened to everyone.
You wanted to kill me.
And you actually killed me! After you beat my dad into a coma and went on a crime spree.
My humanity was off. And the worst version of me is still here, while the worst version of you is just you. I almost thought it was me talking for a second.
At first, I thought I made it back to the real world, but then the sun never came up, and I figured it out. I saw what Ziad was doing, making people serve him, and I knew I had to disrupt his supply chain. He doesn't deserve peace.
The white light you saw was Malivore dying while he was possessing my body after my girlfriend Hope had to stab me with a sword made from her own blood.
I didn't realize your memories had returned.
My friend Josie found this spell, brought it all back.
Your mother had left you. I couldn't even protect you from that. You deserve peace.
No offense, I don't feel stuck here. You want to see where I work?
Look at Landon's always so upbeat in there. Literally missing him in the present.
I'm trying to figure out what comes next.
Oracle powers were always used in response to a question. Maybe if I ask you about someone in particular, that'll trigger it.
You're worried about Ben.
Maybe you could tell me what his role in all this is.
Maybe part of my block is I can't stop worrying about him.
What's she just seen? Oh, mate, someone's head.
If there were a spell to get rid of a magical alter ego, I mean, I would have done it when you were the invisible annoying one. Even if you meet the gods, you can't save your friends. Some of them are gonna die. Just let me out.
Don't let her manipulate you.
You were right.
Oh.
I was worrying about myself when you have a way bigger problem.
Cops are blocking off every road so that no one can get in. I don't know, man. I just got a weird feeling. I've never heard it this quiet before.
Oh, who can you hear?
Listen,
Ben.
you have to go home, but can't stay here. What are you doing?
I was just about to ask you the same question.
Oh, mate, better not be Caleb, mate. Better not be Caleb in the one of Cleo's picture who's somebody stood over holding his head. Oh, that's mad. I want to see his dad. I mean, obviously we've seen his dad in the simulation that they've done, you know, when they played that game. But I want to see him here, just in the present. Like, if he looks, like, dominant or if he's, like, I don't know, just different. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be exciting to see.
Your dad's not gonna set the fire. You are.
My father is heading to the school, and I knew that you would try to stop it.
Town's empty, so go ahead. Burn it all down.
Oh.
We're gonna be getting rid of my dark side with a jewelry box.
It's the spell that's important. And the spell is to help you release things. Specifically, what you're afraid of. I think the reason she's still here is you're holding on to her. I used to be a raging bitch to you, but it wasn't because I hated you. You were cool and smart, and I was always saying the wrong things, so I pushed you away. Because that's what we do when we're afraid. You just need to find out what she's protecting you from now.
You've got to be kidding. That's not gonna get rid of me.
If she's coming over, I would have just ignored it if I was Darkhold.
Where's Caleb?
Get them out of here.
Go on,
I'll
Jed.
handle him.
That was well interesting.
Most people want to get to peace, they just need help figuring out how. I'd rather the coins go to a more worthy cause.
I tried to cross over several times. No matter how many coins I offer the ferryman, somehow it's never enough.
You just haven't gotten an actual coin of your own yet.
That was good, that from Landon, innit, mate? Literally, instead of using everyone else's coins, how about use your own?
Your fear isn't you.
When your friends are lying bloody at their feet, you'll come crawling back to me. You shouldn't have spoken. I know exactly why I'm holding on to you.
Oh, what?
Caspori mutatis dimitis.
Caspori
mutatis dimitis.
Check this out, mate.
Incendia. Just in case.
That's how you make an entrance, innit?
I know you know who I am. I have no interest in you other than what I came for. My traitorous daughter!
Are they gonna protect her out there?
If not, we're all going to die.
You know what's interesting is they're going to obviously protect Jen. That's what they are, mate. They protect everybody in this school. But the interesting thing is, you know, they don't really know that much. Yeah, they're willing to put all their lives on the line. That's what you call good people. Do you know what I mean? Going up against a god as well. It's going to be interesting to see, because all they could do really is if they could just throw her out the door and say, there you go, she's not our problem, you're not our problem, mate, leave us alone. But that's not happening, is it? So we've got Jed and obviously Ben. They're in the town square, you know, they're going to fight it off or something. Jed's going to probably get really emotional when they have their conversation. We've got him here on this side. He made a really good impact. Did you see it, mate? He come down, broke the ground, stood up, looked really, really good. And then obviously broke the gates. He's walked right into the school grounds. Maybe this is how he burns it down. Do you know what I mean? If they don't bring her out, he's just going to burn it down so she comes out. Another interesting thing was that conversation Lizzie had there with Hope. You know, she's not holding on to you, you're holding on to her. You need to let that side go. You know, I've had that in the past where I felt like I've had to cling on to things, but it's not, you know, like it's not the best way. Think of something good, put it in a box, think of something good, set it free, incendia and burn it. Hopefully that's the end of the Dark Hope, and we've got obviously normal Hope now. But the interesting thing is, Dark Hope was a savage, and like in this time right now against this god, maybe she would have been an asset. But you know, now we're going to see normal humanity Hope with her full powers. We've not really seen it, have we? As soon as she got all the tribal powers, she turned. Now we're going to see what she could do with it, and it's going to be interesting.
Not exactly in fighting shape. We don't have time.
Actually, your timing's perfect.
Oh.
I'm back, and I know what to do.
How'd you find me? I started having more visions. I saw Caleb dying. Then I saw you running away. When I first came to the school, Malibu was sending monsters after me. They rescued me from darkness and welcomed me into their family. Jed saved Caleb's life. The vision did not come true.
I meant that you shouldn't. When you change the future, you might not be an oracle anymore.
Did I miss something? Like maybe why you knocked them all out?
You were right about what you said. About my dark side, I was holding on to her. From the moment that I became immortal, part of me knew I was gonna outlive everyone that I loved. And I guess it triggered some stuff about my parents.
You can't face a god alone.
Who said I was alone?
Pinky swear, mate.
This is a waste of time. I have no illusions whether or not I was a good person or a good mother. I'm not going to peace because I don't believe I deserve it.
I'm not going to say I forgive you because I'm not the person you need it from. The other reason I'm not going to say it is because I'm not mad at you. You were loving me in the only way you could. Really, I'm happy. No matter what, you have not damaged me.
How's she got a car and she forgive herself from that conversation? Guy should just stay there, he's helping everyone.
You're not my daughter.
I'm Klaus Michelson's daughter. My father stood for family above everything. This school is my family, so if you want to hurt them, you're going to have to go through me.
Mate, Klaus Michelson is my father. He definitely was, mate. The guy's an absolute beast. I want Hope to come in now, put up a good fight. Now, I expect her to lose. I kind of want her to lose, to be honest, just because, you know, it's a god. It's his kind of first impression to us anyway. He should be the almighty, shouldn't he? He should be powerful. So, like, Hope should be able to put up a good fight, but he should really come up trumps. He should brush past her, even though I do want him to take a couple of lickings here and there. I want to get some good shots in, and then I want Ben to arrive, and then it will get interesting, because it looks like Jen's going to come back, and then we're going to have Jen, Ben, and Ken all together, and that is what I want to see. Yes, that was sick, even though he's just pushed it away.
Magic doesn't work under God.
Siphon. Fine, mate. She's not dead. It's sound. I wonder if he knows that vampires are a thing.
Tell me it's not true. Tell me I didn't just spend all day defending someone who betrayed us.
You already know the truth. I knew that whoever woke him up would get his boon. It was the only way I could get him to break my curse.
Go on, Jed, mate. Don't get no manipulated from him. Well done, lad. You know what was interesting with that is, I think in the intro I said that he wanted to wake his dad because he wanted to resurrect his old lover. I think that's what Jen told us. I'm sure Jen told us that. But my first thought was that he did. He just wanted the curse lifted. I think he always said that he wanted the curse lifted. And I think the last bit that we had was Jen saying he'll do anything he takes to resurrect the love of his life. So it's going to be interesting which one he's actually gone with here, you know, with waking his dad. But, you know, I think they're trying to shock us with Lizzie's being dead. But we know that only a stake to the heart can do it. And that was a metal pole from a friend. She is, you know, a siphoner. She's well, she's a hybrid, mate, isn't she? She is a heretic, so she should be sound.
Why won't you die?
It's kind of my thing.
It is, mate.
Nothing is unkillable.
Stop!
She's back.
I've missed you.
No, that's fine. None of them are dead, you know. None of them really got anything in on him as well. The siphon didn't even work.
School's still standing. That's something. And what about Hope?
She's even worse off than you were.
I'm sorry, Dad. To you and everyone else, and I'm gonna find a way to make it up to all of you.
My father
got what he wanted. But like all bullies, I'm sure he'll be back as soon as he wants something else.
You may hate me for attacking them, and I can live with that because at least you're alive, which means I saved the life of someone that I love.
Is that seriously how you're gonna tell me that for the first time? Love means fighting beside the people you care about, not against them.
You sure about this?
Not really. But as you pointed out, we get the coins only when we're ready.
You're a good mom.
Better late than never. I've never not been proud that you're my son.
Hey, I just want to let you know, you kicked ass earlier.
Did it take more out of him than he expected? Oh. Oh.
Hope, the whole squad, we're all still here. So I'd say you changed a hell of a lot.
Innit? She helped. If she didn't have those visions, he wouldn't be here.
I don't know why Hope hasn't woken up yet.
Don't tell me that Hope's on the bridge. Oh, fucking hell, mate. She's died. Oh, she always lingers around here, doesn't she? When she goes. It's interesting that, mate. So, like, they're referencing that she's actually died. If you was following that, she's dead. Yeah, but, like, we've been told consistently that the only way she could die is not even the white oak stake can kill her, you know? It has to be the red oak. So, unless a god's able to kill her. You know what I mean? Just because he's strong, he might be able to take her out. But have we seen in times before when people... So, I don't know if we've seen it in this show, but we have seen it in the Vampire Diaries where people die and they go like into limbo, don't they? But they get further and further away from the body and it takes them longer and longer to wake up. I'm sure that's the thing. I am sure of it. I don't know whether it's happened in this show or the original / Vampire Diaries, but we've had supernaturals die, distance away from the body. It takes them so much longer to regen because they've got to come all the way back to it. Now, this is really interesting, to be honest. Maybe Hope's obviously gone here. She knows that Landon may possibly be here. So she's thought, you know what? Chance for me to go and see him, see if he's all right. And this is what she needs, to be honest, you know. It's episode 16 right now. We've got 3 more. 17, 18. No, we haven't. We've got 4 more, mate. Haven't we? 17, 18, 19, 20. So, it's going to be exciting to see how Landon gets back into present. Because after the Necromancer and him was obviously introduced to his mum, the Necromancer hasn't been seen for the rest of this episode. But it's interesting that Landon's mum, you know, she's finally found peace. She got forgiveness kind of off Landon, even though he said, you don't really need my forgiveness, and I'm not really kind of giving it. The person that needs forgiveness is yourself, by yourself, you know. You need to let it go. You never give me a bad life. I've had a happy life. I've had people who love me, great friends, great school, people who care about me. And, you know, your decision didn't, you know, had a small impact on my life, but it's not made it terrible, and you need to forgive yourself. And she has done, you know, and she got a coin, and now she's going off into peace, so that's exciting. Jen's been taken from her dad, you know, he has returned, he made a decent impact, he come down from the sky, hit the floor, broke the gates, gone there to the school, said give me Jen and nobody else would get hurt. Well, at first, you know, that didn't happen, she'd escaped, Cleo's gone to find her. Hope's come out, Lizzie tried to fight him, knocked them both out, stabbed Lizzie, you know, he's threw her onto the fence, took Hope out. Kind of looks like she's died here. And obviously Jen's arrived back after speaking with Lizzie. After speaking with Cleo, and boom, mate, she's been taken away. So, again, really exciting. Honestly, I want him to have a good end of the season, this god, anyway, because we kind of built him up like the gods of these almighty powerful, and we've seen it here in today's episode that Hope and Lizzie didn't even put a scratch on him. He easily brushed them aside. So now that he's taken his, his daughter, he didn't really seem to be mad at her, which, again, could be really interesting, because on the front of it, he seems like he's all right. He said he missed her, but we kind of know that he's angry as well, that she put him in that coffin. So, I mean, that story is going to be really interesting when it plays out in the remainder of this season. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much, everybody, for checking out the channel today. Like I said in the introduction, we are running our most liked and disliked characters of this season, so if you've not got those votes cast yet, please do in the description below. It's going to be exciting to see your results and mine at the end of the season. Now, today's episode, Cleo kind of did save the day. You know, we kind of was told that she was an oracle, by Jen, because she's seen the future, and Jen was saying, mate, people who see the future, oracles, they can't change it. What it is they see what's going to happen, you know, not what might happen. People can't stop it from happening. It is a fact, it's happening. Well, it turns out that was not the case, because she warned Caleb that he was potentially going to die, and they evacuated the town. Ben's come, they've had a fight. He's threw him, he's threw him on the floor, he's threw MG against the car. Ethan's come as well. Ben's told him to go to school. He's like, I'm trying to protect everybody. You might think I'm a bad guy, but I'm not, mate. You know, I'm trying to protect him, go to the school, get them away. You know, they've disappeared. Now, what's interesting is, obviously, Caleb's life has been saved. Cleo did see the vision. She's warned him, and he's not died. So that means that Jen could possibly be saved. You know, she's tried to escape the school. Her dad's come. He's come down. He's said, look, mate, nobody will get hurt if you just bring me my daughter. That's all I want. The person that has locked me away for all these years. She's tried to escape. Cleo's gone after her. She said, look, you may think that you're always right. You might think I'm an oracle, but I've changed the future already. You know, you said Caleb was going to die. He hasn't. We've changed it, and we can change what's going to happen to you as well. She's turned around and said, look, mate, you know, if you start changing the future, then you're not an oracle, you're something else. Now, I don't know what that may be. A seer, you know, seers do see into the future. We've seen it in other shows before, and that may be who she actually is. We don't know, but it's interesting that we're going in a new direction with Cleo. You know, we went with the Malivore and the inspirational route, and then obviously we've gone with she's lost her powers, and now we're going with she's seen stuff again. And, you know, we're kind of adapting and evolving it. So it's good, because Lizzie's evolved and adapted. She's a heretic. You know, she was a siphoner. Now she's a heretic. Luckily, saved her life today, didn't it? Because when she tried to siphon the god, it didn't actually work. And when he did throw away, she ended up getting stabbed. But obviously, being this heretic has actually saved her life. Now, what's interesting is Hope was trying to fight him as well, and none of her magic worked. Even though what was really sick visual is she kind of got a fireball and threw it at him, and obviously it just like evaporated kind of around him, said magic don't work on gods, and then he's gone and attacked him. Now, we've seen Landon in limbo. We've seen him finally, you know, and the necromancer finally being shown who's attacked him. I totally forgot that was actual thing as well. They did get like drive-by, wasn't it, mate? They pulled up in a van, put bags on the head, disappeared. Didn't see it kind of last episode, but then we have here. Turns out it's his mum. She said, look, mate, when I come here after jumping into the Malivore pit, I seen what the genie was doing to everybody, seeing that he's getting everybody to work for him, and I decided that the best thing that I could do is disrupt his kind of operation. You know, the less coins he gets is the more time he spends here. That was interesting. You know, Landon obviously has been helping people get coins all of this time. He said, look, you know, have you ever tried to cross the bridge into peace? She was like, I have done. No matter how many coins I take to him, it's never enough. He's saying, well, I'll tell you what, how about you take your own coin? She's like, I can't get one. You know, I've done so many bad things in my life. I don't think that I'll be ever able to get one. Landon said, mate, this is my specialty. Sit down, have a seat, mum. Come on, have a seat. Then he's gone on his little speech, hasn't he? Saying, look, mate, you know, the person that needs forgiveness is yourself, not me. You don't need forgiveness from me. You may think that you give me a terrible life, but you haven't. You give me, obviously, up, but I've been brought up with love and affection and friends, and I've found love with hope, and I've had a school and people who believe in me, and you know what? I've had a fantastic upbringing. So, you know, I've never had a bad life, and you shouldn't be, you know, blaming yourself for that. And it worked. She did forgive herself.'s got a coin. She's gone. She's given it him. She has sailed away. Now, what's interesting is he's turned around on the bridge and Hope is stood there. She's in limbo again. And we've seen it many times. Like I said before, in the Vampire Diaries, people, supernaturals die. They do go into limbo, and then we see them come back into the present. Sometimes it takes longer than others. Sometimes, obviously, people stay out for weeks and months, mate. But other times, people come back straight away. Now, she's here with Landon. Maybe she can come up with a little plan how to get him out, whilst also obviously returning to the present as well. I think it'll also help Hope, because she thought that he's possibly gone forever and ever and ever, and that is the reason why she turned her humanity off in the first time. That is the reason why we got this dark humanity, Hope, you know, the one attacking Rick. It was interesting, obviously, the Lizzie conversation with her when she was in the cage. She was like, you know, people, you think people are going to forgive you for what you've done? She's like, I think people are going to forgive you what you've done, Lizzie. She's like, well, everything I've done teaming up with Aurora is because of what you done to put us in that position. She's like, well, you could have killed me. She's like, well, you did kill me. You know, that is the reason why I am a heretic. So that was a decent conversation. She's come back. She said, sorry, you know, like, I don't really want to fall out with you and stuff. When I was younger, you know, Emma taught me how to put my kind of like things that I was holding on to, you know, into this box and let them go. And that is what Hope actually done. She said to her, you know, it's not the dark Hope that's clinging on to you. It's the you Hope clinging on to her, feeling that you need that sort of connection. But I'll tell you what, just let it go and you'll be free. She's done that, mate. She's done a little spell. She's put her in a box. She's come out like a butterfly and she's burned it in Cynthia. And hopefully that is her gone now and we've got actual normal Hope in the present. Like how the school stood by Jen, though, they didn't actually toss her over, you know, push her away. Ethan as well, you know, after helping all of them in the fight with, well, I was going to say with Ben, even though Ben didn't really fight Ethan, did he, really? He didn't. But he's suffering some sort of thing. He did reference that after coming back to the school. He felt like it took a lot out of him bringing them there, and he's just taken a shower at the end and fell on the floor, and he's like bleeding out of his mouth. MG's gone over to try and pick him up and his like hands are kind of like going through his body. So it's mad, honestly. It's crazy. And I referenced it last episode. I referenced it again. Finch has just disappeared. Totally disappeared. We've written her character off. It's mad. You know, the whole reason that Josie left was, I don't know, she was trying to save everybody. I can't remember now. It's been ages. But Josie left and Finch decided to stay. But then Finch has not been in the show at all. And Finch could have just left with her. It would have made more sense than the current storyline that she's got. But, you know, I'm really enjoying all these new characters that we've been introduced to, especially the gods anyway, and the potential that they've got is going to be exciting. I want to know what's going to happen to Jen with her dad. And then I want to know if the school are going to forgive Ben, because he said to Jed at the end there, mate, I've done everything to protect you. You know, you might think I'm a bad guy, but I'm not. I love you. You know, I've done everything I can to save the person that I love. He's like, is that really the way you're going to tell me that you love me for the first time? And then he said, well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing, mate. You just shut the gate and walked off. So go on, Jed, mate. Literally, he's not going to get manipulated at all. He might be telling the truth, Ben, but only time will tell. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy episode 16. Thanks for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.